There we go. Network communications. The first part, we talk about network concepts. And the first that I choose is the Manchester signal, which is a digital encoding used in network communications to ensure speed and data security transmission. Um, Master signals synchronize itself, minimizing the error rate and optimizing reliability. The advantage of Manchester is the signal synchronization, as I already said. And the disadvantage is that the Manchester signal needs more bytes to be transmitted compared to all other signals. The second one would be the code division multiplexing, which it was a technique used in 2G and 3G wireless communications, and nowadays not used as much as before. Combined digital analog conversion, and each channel has a unique spreading code line because there is a sender and a receiver, and the sender will is encoding to send for the receiver. So they use the physical random for the sequence, and then they spread the code with the original signal. The receiver knows the code generated, and then he decodes the signal, so then he knows what the other person is telling him. And it was used in the Second War as well, a Second World War. The advantage is the security that this signal has, and the disadvantage is the higher complexity electronic circuits that this signal is required. Okay, the other part would be we talk about just the difference between the digital signal and the analog signal. The digital signal is using binary, so as you can see in the image, it's just like zeros and ones. They don't do like the analog has the multiples amplitude, or is an infinite number of values and it's always going to change. Digital is just zeros and ones. Is a non-continuous waveform, has the analog is a constantly waveform change, and we use digital signals for everything, for our electronics, computers to talk with each other. Analog is more like old clock, cable phones, music, and etc. So now we're going to talk about the testing virtual networks. The first virtual network with the bridge. The bridge is used to reduce the collision between devices by dividing a network into two sections. So, for example, there's the bridge, and then it's two sections, the hub and hub, and that signal is going to go to the computers, and then they connect it to the internet. In the virtual machines, we can use that for virtual machines to connect to each other. So we put the bridge, and then they connect in the network, and they can start communicating to each other. The host, the VMs connects to the host network. We have the part two, the net, which the default mode in virtual machine, which makes also machines connect to each other, but in a different way because it maximizes security between them. I use this NIT to the ping. I found this the best network to do it. I did some notes here so that I don't forget things. The NAT address is used to readdress one IP address space to another IP address space, as you can see in the image. So the computer has an IP, and then that IP will connect to the router, and the router will change the IP to connect to the internet, so then people don't know which computer, which IP address, and address the computer and try to hack the computer, something like that. So it's very secure. We have the internet internal networking, which is similar to the NIT networking, but it has some security advantage. They internal network use the computer has the router, and it communicates two or more VMs privately. So it's very secure. Like you can open 3 or 4 virtual machines at the same time, connect to each other, and privately. And then we have the ping, which we can use to verify and test if the IP address exists and accepts a request in the host network, and estimate of the road trip time between a client and a host, and is also given a ping. So I will show later how to do the ping. So I change the IP addresses, and then I use the command prompt to ping each other, and then we can see if they connect to each other, and then we can testing things. And then we have the IP address, which is a number used to identify a computer or network of computers. So each of computer has the unique address. So my computer has IP. For example, a printer has their own IP. So each machine will have the own IP. So then, if the machine got a problem, for example, we can search with the IP and see what's going on inside that machine. And the IP address goes in a set range of 0 to 255. And then we have the FTP, transfer with FTP service. So we can transfer, and it's like a protocol that we can transfer files between computers in a safe way that no one else can access that file. We have the active FTP and the passive FTP. The passive, the client creates a command channel and then data channel, and the activate FTP, the client begins the command channel, and then the server will create the data channel. And that was it. Thank you. So I will just pause. I just didn't have the here it's that, and then I go properties, and then here I put my FTP here, and then here I can change the IP address, and the IP address that I'm putting, I already did this before, so then I could test and see. This the computer is a bit slow, but then here I click here and I do 177.20.10.5, sorry, 20, 10, and 5. There we go. It's just very slow. Okay, I'm gonna press OK. I have to do 7net. 7net. There we go. So here I have changed the IP address. That's how we change the IP address. I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. So I'm in settings. This one is very, very slow, and that's the problem with. I'm just gonna open the command prompt now. So coming back, here I got in the status area, so I will change it at 7 to 20, 10, and then here I put 4. Done. Okay, this is now it's done. Oh, good. So now I'm just gonna ping one another. I just gonna go here. That's fast. And then command prompt, and then here just to make sure my IP. I put IP config. There we go. That's the IP I did, and then here I'm just gonna do straight away because This virtual machine is very slow, so both IP addresses are the same. So I press OK. I press OK here. Oh, good. Fine. So I come back here. I already changed 0.5, and it's working. This is the older machine. There we go. And same thing will be for the second machine, 20.10.4. And that was it. I think one another. Thank you very much. About the FTP transfer files,